TiEcon 2019. This is Rakhi Sharma from SITAARRE TV. And today we have the pleasure of having Mr. Manish Vyas from Tech Mahendra today with us. So very good morning, Manish.
Thank you so much for having me here. Good morning to you.
So Manish, I'm really excited to have you here, and I have a lot of questions for you, but let me stick to some important ones. So first of all, if you could help us understand about what are your key takeaways from TiEcon 2019?
Well, for now, time immemorial, TiEcon has been a foundation platform for people to come and share ideas around entrepreneurship. In many ways, celebrate entrepreneurship. And put together this unbelievable event where you have people from across the world, from the US, of different type, coming together and discussing and sharing ideas and exchanging ideas. So from our vantage point at Tech Mahindra, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to come and mix with and talk to different entrepreneurs and some amazing companies, because at the core of Tech Mahindra, we may be a large $5 billion company, but at the very core is entrepreneurship. At the very core is the human spirit of going and solving new problems. And to come and once again live in that kind of an atmosphere environment, I think is wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Nowadays, I understand that we have a lot of emerging technologies, AI, machine learning, and whatnot. But the biggest focus, what I understand and gathered from other conferences, is the biggest focus is customer experience. So could you please highlight what Tech Mahindra is looking at under the focus of customer experience? What is it that you're doing, and what is your go-to marketing strategy to handle that?
Oh, absolutely. Let's face it. Any company that has even one customer, the only time it will go and get the second customer, if it has 1 million customers, the second million customer will only happen when the first set of customers are happy, are satisfied, are delighted. So it is very clear that customer experience is at the root of any growth that any company would ever like to achieve. That said, what worked for your previous 1 million customers or the first customer is not likely to work for your next million. You grow in scale, you grow in complexity, you grow, your problem statements change, the customers change themselves, demographically, age-wise, in terms of which countries you operate and you expand. So net-net, you need a combination of people, process, and above and beyond all technology to try and deliver better customer experience than you have done in the past, so that you can continue, and I'm speaking on the customer's behalf here, so that they can continue the march towards growing and increasing their value for the shareholders. That said, customer experience in a very integrated fashion and in a digital fashion is at the forefront of our strategy as a company. It's probably one of the most important problems we solve going forward for our companies. And what we have done is we've put together some interesting assets. For example, at some point we realized that people by themselves are not enough. You also need to give them some design principles. So we went ahead and bought a company out of London called Bio Agency. And as we were doing a lot of digital experience transformation, we reckoned that, hey, we live not in an abstract world, we live in a real world. The physical is equally important. So we acquired a very interesting asset called Pininfarina, a company in Italy out of Turin that does a lot of work for automotive majors like Ferrari and others in designing these very cool automotives. We went and brought them in to bring industrial engineering and design as a concept together. So as a company, it would be an understatement if I don't say that amongst all the problems, transforming customer experience and getting that right is one of the biggest and most important focus area for us going forward.
Great, thank you for sharing that insight. Other thing that I would like to understand from your perspective, AI is all booming right now. People are looking at AI that it is going to solve huge problems for us. But according to some of the, I would say, industry experts, it is also an imminent danger to the human society. But what is your take? What do you think about it?
Look, where we come from is that Data, what you can do with data, is a we have not even scratched the surface of it. What AI and machine learning can do for industry and humanity, I think we have not even seen the beginning of that journey yet. Uh, some say, and these are very large numbers, so you can take it with a pinch of salt, but some say that in the next decade or so, right, about $13 trillion worth of new value will be generated with things like AI and 5G and others.
Okay.
Now, will the humanity and the industry across the world not take advantage of this opportunity? They, of course, will. Now, we have not been in this story. This movie has played in the past as well. We have had different type of technological disruptions in the past, and every time something changed, it brought certain threats. What it also brings together are these watchdogs and lot of people who act very responsibly. So I think this tussle between acting responsibly and continuing to take advantage of these opportunities and technology to try and do something dramatically different with this technology, I think will always be there. Uh, our vantage point and our perspective is we will continue this journey, we will invest, we will participate, we will help our customers, and we will ourselves benefit from this. But as a firm and as an industry, we will bring unprecedented level of responsibility to the process so that an abuse does not happen. Will we be able to avoid everything? No. But can we try and minimize it? Absolutely, yes.
Fantastic response, I would say. Very well thought out, structured response, and I really admire you for this thought process. I would say that. My last question to you: what one message would you like to give to the entrepreneurs of today? What do they need to do to grow ahead and to think?
You know, I just spoke earlier today at a keynote, and I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing.
Okay.
What I said was, so in case somebody didn't understand that, maybe there is another opportunity here.
Okay.
What I said is that innovation, and the Valley is a brilliant example of that. Innovation, when happens at scale, helps the world, right, change for the better. So scale is important, and I'm so amazed that it continues to remain a very important focal point for conversation. It is one of the themes of this event as well. So, so clearly that's a problem statement to remain very loyal to. What I said today is I gave a little cheeky formula
Okay.
for achieving scale, right? What I said is, and I used the word LESS, L-E-S-S, which is an acronym for 4 words. The best entrepreneurs are the ones who are active listeners to the unsolved problems. So that is L for listen. E, let's face it, large problems can never ever be solved alone. You need a village to solve those. Ecosystem and collaboration, I think, is the most important. Take any example, right? An Apple is not Apple without the App Store. An App Store is not an App Store without the multitude of applications and whatever is residing on that. An Amazon is not an Amazon without the writers and the authors for the book, without the various retailers and people and innovative people who want to do business together. So ecosystem is important. The third letter was S, which I used for keeping it damn simple, right? And any time who has dumbed it down, I think has benefited because, you know, an average Joe across the world is the consumer. And if that person understands, I think we are talking scale at the same time. So for one, we work in a very complex industry, right? We don't make a product, we make a service. And service can never be defined. So we dumbed it down and we said, we only solve 3 problems for our company customers. Only 3. You put a gun on my head and say, can you solve a 4th one? I will say, Rakhi, go ahead and pull the trigger. I only solve 3, which is help people run, change, and grow. That's it. So that's keep it simple. And the 4th, which is what is about getting a beginning, getting a start, right? And entrepreneurs are, if anything, are not lazy people. They just get started, right? They wake up in the morning, have a gut feel, something in their stomach, and they say, let's go make it happen. So I believe that, it's the combination of these 4 and many other things. I mean, then one can write and read a book on courage and celebrating failures and the whole works. But from our vantage point at Tech Mahindra, we truly believe that as we participate in entrepreneurship journeys, as we ourselves lead our business in an entrepreneurial way, it's all about listening, building an ecosystem, keeping things damn simple, and of course, getting started to achieve innovation at scale. I mean, that's the formula for us.
Fantastic formula, Manish. Fantastic formula. I'm always going to remember LESS. Listen, ecosystem, keep it simple, and
And
get
start.
started. Get
Yeah.
started. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Manish.
Thank you so
And
much.
it's a pleasure having you here. And please, thank you so much for sharing all the information. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.